Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time we're going to be doing a Cambridge Lower Secondary Checkpoint Mathematics Paper 2, April 2021. We can use the calculator in this, and without further ado, let's start. Question 1. Here's a list of symbols. Choose the correct symbol from the list of each of these statements. 3.7 greater than 3.65, 4.035 is less than 4.34, 7.6 equals 7.60. Question 2. Draw a ring around the value of the digit 4 in the number 6.354. 4 is in the thousands place, which means thousands, but it's in the decimal. So that means it's 4 by 1000. The answer. Question 3. Solve. 5x minus 2 equals 3 into x plus 4. That means 5x minus 2 equals 3x plus 3 into 4, which is 12. So 5x minus 3x equals 2 plus 12. 2x equals 14. X equals 14 by 2, which is 7. That's the answer. Work out 1 plus 12 squared divided by 2 multiplied by 3 squared minus 13. So that is equal to 1 plus 144 divided by 2 multiplied by 9 minus 13. 145 by 18 minus 13, which is 5. That will be equal to 29. That's the answer. Question 5. A plane flies between two cities 1836 kilometers apart. It travels at an average speed of 850 kilometers per hour. Calculate how long the flight takes. Give your answer in hours. We'll start by finding the formula speed equals distance by time. And then we can rearrange it. When we find the time, we need to divide speed from distance. So t equals d by s, time equals distance by speed. So the time will be 1836 by 850, which is, and then let's take a calculator out. Alright, we've got a calculator. 1836 divided by 850. That's equal to 2.16 and hours. 2.16 hours. That's the answer. Alright, let's move to question 6. 10 teams A to J enter the competition to build a model car using plastic bricks. The competition rules are given here, which are maximum number of batteries to power this model is 6, maximum mass is 1 kilogram, winner is the model car with the greatest speed. The scatter graph shows some information about the model cars built by the 10 teams. Here's graph 1, which represents speed meters per second and number of batteries. And this is graph 2, which is speed meters per second and the mass in kilograms. And the third one is speed meters per second and the number of wheels. So we need to find out which team wins the competition. In the A part, which is complete these sentences. Team dash wins the competition. Teams dash and dash are disqualified for breaking the competition rules. Let's see. We need to have the number of batteries. Maximum number to power the model car is 6. So I is out of range, 8 batteries. So I is disqualified from the competition in all parts. So team I is one of the disqualified teams. Now let's look at the graph 2. Maximum mass is 1 kilogram. Team B is 1.2 kilograms. Get that? So team B can be crossed in every single one. So teams I and B are disqualified. And number of wheels doesn't matter. There is no rule for the number of wheels. So we have two teams which are disqualified. Now let's see who is the winner. Let's first see the speed and the number of batteries. Over here, E is the highest speed, and then it becomes J, D, so on. And these have a number of batteries 6, so it's good. D has number of batteries is 5, that's also good. And all the others have less than 6 batteries, except I. So right now, E is leading the competition. Now let's see the speed meters per second compared with the mass. E is highest in the meters per second. The amount of mass is about 0.35 kilograms, and that is obviously less than 1 kilogram. Therefore, we can say that E is the winner of this competition. The third graph does not need to be examined because it takes number of views. There's no condition for the number of views, as I have said. So Team E wins the competition. Let's go to the B part. Complete the sentences to describe the type of correlation shown on these three graphs. The graph of speed plotted against the number of batteries shows what correlation? So let's see the first graph right here. It is this graph is going straight upwards, and these points are very close together. Therefore, it is strong because going from left to right and down to up. Positive correlation. Next, the graph of speed plotted against the mass shows dash correlation. Let's see graph 2. We can see that all the points are gathered heavily around this line of best fit, which is a negative slope, negative gradient, and it is not so strong because they're not so gathered. They're just around the point. All these are around this line. So we can say weak negative correlation. The third graph, look at these points. Scattered. These ones scattered completely. Shows no correlation because there's no good line of best fit to be drawn with these few points right here. That's it for question 6. We are in question 7 now. Draw the reflection of the triangle in line L. This is quite straightforward because we need to find out the reflection, which means it has to be the same direction but the opposite side. This point is 1 point because same distance, opposite side. Let's take the opposite to this point. That will be all the way over here. And let's take the opposition for this point right there. And that will be here. So we've got our triangle. Let's just draw it down. So this is our triangle which we need. And that's the one. Let's go to question 8. Gabriella's book has 348 pages. She has read 163 of the pages. Safia's book has 562 pages. She has read 225. Tick to show who has read the greater proportion of their book. Show all your working. So we need to find out if 163 by 348 is greater than or less than or equal to 225 by 562. Let's use a calculator for this. So 163 divided by 348 is equal to 0.468 ... and then whichever symbol. Let's see. 225 divided by 562 0.4003 ... Obviously 0.468 dot 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 is greater, so that means this proportion is greater than this. And that's the answer. Who has read it? Gabriella. So we've got that ticked, and that's the answer. Let's move to the 9th question, which is the table shows information about a sequence of patterns made from rods. So we have the diagram, pattern number, and the number of rods. A. Draw the diagram for pattern number 4 in this table. We have 3 rods, 5 rods here, 7 rods, and continuous. So let's just draw this line like that. A triangle, and number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9. These are 9 rods. Part B, -1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. Let's see why we've given these. Choose 2 of these cards to complete the sentence describing the general term. Number of rods needed is pattern number dash, then dash. So we need to fill it with 2 of all these 7 cards. First, let's see. Plus 2, plus 3, plus 4. That's an arithmetic sequence because 3, 5, 7. But the differences between the pattern number and the number of rods are not the same. This one's also 5 difference. But if you see, when you multiply the pattern number by 2 and then add 1 to it, you get the number of rods. That is because the number of rods, every time you go up 1 pattern number, the number of rods goes up by 2. That's why you have to multiply this by 2. And then find the difference. If pattern number 1 multiplied by 2, this one 4, 6, 8. Find the difference. 8, if you add 1, 9, 6 plus 1, 7, 4 plus 1, 5, 2 plus 1, 3. You've got it. Multiplied by 2 and then plus 1. Question 10. Draw a ring around all the numbers that are greater than 11 by 16 and less than 15 by 16. So let's take our calculator out and find out what's 11 by 16. 11 divided by 16 is 0.6875. Let's clear. 15 divided by 16 is equal to 0.9375. We can take out the calculator now. Let's see which numbers are between these. 0.45, no. 0.55, no. 0.65, also no. It's not greater than 0.6875. 0.75 is greater than this, less than this. Yes. Draw a ring around that. 0.85, yes, same 2 reasons. Draw a ring around that. 0.95, well, it's greater than 0.6875. But it's not less than this, 0.9375. So that's question 10. Question 11, complete this calculation. 4 squared equals 2 into something plus 3. So 16 is equal to 2 multiplied by something. We label it as x plus 3. So 16 by 2 is equal to x plus 3. 8 is equal to x plus 3. X is equal to 8 minus 3, which is 5. So this is 5. Let's move to question 12. Write the ratio of 75 centimeters is to 1.8 meters in its simplest form. So let's first convert 1.8 meters into centimeters. That's 180 centimeters. And then when we divide by 5, 15 centimeters is to 36 centimeters. Divide by 3, 5 centimeters is to 12 centimeters. So 5 is to 12. We cannot simplify this further, that's why 5 is to 12 is the answer. In other words, we divide this ratio, both sides, by 15. Question 13. Lily pours 5 liters of water into glasses. Each glass holds 225 milliliters. Calculate how many glasses Lily can fill completely. Very important, this word. Why is it very important? Because if a glass is filled like, let's say this is the glass. Let's say this glass is filled like halfway to there. It's not counted if you've given completely. So 5 liters is equal to 5,000 milliliters. And then we need to divide that by 225 to find how many glasses it is. Let's use our calculator for that. 5,000 divided by 225. That's 22.2 with the dot on top to recurring. But this will be equal to 22 full glasses because they're only asking how many they can fill completely. 22. Question 14. Write 735 as the product of its prime factors. So 735, we can divide by 5. We can get 147. You can divide this by 3, and after that you get 49. You can divide that by 7, you get 7 again. Therefore 735 equals 5 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 7, which is equal to 5 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7 squared. If you were to write this in numerical order, 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 7 squared. That's the answer. Question 15. Write the answer to each calculation correct to 2 decimal places. So the calculation first is 45 divided by 13. Let's use our calculator. 45 divided by 13. That is equal to 3.46 because 1, the third decimal place, is less than 5. 103 divided by 15. Let's write that. 103 divided by 15. 6.8666 continues. So that makes 6.87 because 6 is greater than 5. 17 divided by 11. Let's divide it. That will equal to 1.5454 continues. And that will be 1.55. Why is it 55? The third digit is a 5. So you add 1 to the second decimal place. That's 1.55. So that's this question. Let's move on to question 16. A, B, C, D, E, F is a hexagon. A, measure angle ABC. I have already measured this angle and it is actually 110 degrees. Let's move to part B. A, B, C, D, E, F is enlarged by scale factor of 3. Write down the size of angle ABC in the enlarged shape. Well, even if we enlarge this shape like x100, the angle still remains the same. The ABC here is the equal to the ABC in that shape, which is x3 over here because scale factor 3, and BCD is equal to BCD there. So it's like that. The angle does not change at all while we enlarge. Therefore, angle ABC is still 110 degrees. Question 17. Angelique wants to find out how students in a class travel to school. Design a question for her to find this data. Include response boxes. So let's say this is actually a questionnaire question. So what we need to do is write the question, then write some choice boxes, like options to choose from. So I'll start with a question like, how do you travel to school? This is a simple question, isn't it? One person might say car, one person might say the school transport, another one might say goes on foot, another might say bicycle, another might say a van, blah blah. Many options. So we'll take a few options there, some of the most obvious ones. Let's take our first option as using a car, our second option as using a school transport. So transport's provided by the school. And next we can say on foot, which means walking to school. And we don't need like more than 4 options, so let's just say others. Because it's evident from others that it'll likely be a bicycle or a bus, but there are many other modes of transport which you can use to get to school, and that's just common word, others. Let's move to question 18. Some students choose their favorite drink from the 6 drinks shown in the table. Some of the probabilities of the students choosing each drink are shown. 3 times as many students choose milk as choose cola. Complete this table. First, we need to find out the probability amount for milk and cola. Then we can find out separately. So it'll be 1 minus 0.15 minus 0.32 minus 0.08 minus 0.29. And once we do this subtraction, the answer will be 0.16. So that is 4 parts, and I'll tell you why. So let's take cola as 1 part, and 3 times as many students choose milk as choose cola. So that means 3x chooses milk and x chooses cola. That x is 1 part, and so 3 times 1 part is 3 parts, and that's the amount for milk. So 3 plus 1, 4 parts. 1 part equals 0.04, and therefore you can write cola as 0.04, 1 part. Milk is 0.04 into 3, which is 0.12. That's the answer. You can add up all these values right here, and it'll make sure that they add up to 1, because the total probability is always equal to 1. Let's move to question 19. The exchange rate from euros to dollars is 1 euro equals $1.2. Complete these conversions. 160 euros to dollars and $76.80 to euros. So let's start with the first one, 160 euros to dollars. This will be 160 multiplied by 1.2. And the answer is 192. And don't forget, it's in dollars. That's the answer. Why did we multiply by 1.2? Because 1 euro is equal to $1.2, which is 1.2 multiplied by 1. And 1 is the value of the euros. So if there's 160 values, we need to multiply by 1.2, similar to this one. And now here, $76.80 to euros. This is a little different because we are converting dollars to euros. So we know that $1.2 is equal to 1 euro. So we need to find out how much euros is this much money. That means we need to divide by 1.2. The complete opposite of what we did last time. 76.80 divided by 1.2. And after you divide this, you'll get 64. So 64 euros. That 64 is the answer. Question 20. A farm has 150 hectares of land. Write this area in square meters. To do this question, we need to know the conversion values. 1 hectare is equal to how much square meters? 10,000 square meters. So 150 hectares is equal to, so let's multiply 150 by 10,000. That will be 1, 5, and followed by 5 zeros. So that's 1,500,000 meters squared. 1,500,000. That's the answer. Let's move to question 21. A. Solve the inequality. 19 less than or equal to 7 minus 3x. 19 minus 7 less than or equal to negative 3x. 12 less than or equal to negative 3x. Now we need to bring this negative 3 to the other side. That means we are dividing by negative 3. But if you've watched my inequality video, you'll know this. If you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, then the inequality sign flips. So that means if it's less than, it changes to greater than. If it's greater than, it changes to less than. Greater than and equal to changes to less than or equal to. And less than or equal to changes to greater than or equal to. Over here, we have the less than or equal to symbol. So we find that 12 by negative 3, we just overturn the symbol. Greater than or equal to x. And therefore, x less than or equal to negative 4. So x less than or equal to negative 4. B, represent the range of values for x on the number line. So we start with x at negative 4. We put a closed dot because it can be negative 4. It's less than or equal. Then we draw a line towards the left because x can also be less than negative 4. And then we draw an arrow. That's it. That's the answer. So that's it for question 21. Question 22. This original price of a television is reduced by 25%. This new price is then increased by 25%. Calculate the price of the television now as a percentage of the original price. What you have to do first is say original price. So the original price equals X dollars, or you can put any other currency unit you want. Here I'm just using dollars. So first it's reduced by 25%. That will be equal to 75% of dollars X. That would be 0.75x, which is in dollars. And then when we go up 25%, it is 1.25 multiplied by 0.75x, because we are going increasing 25%. 1 plus 0.25, it is 1.25. So we multiply that by 0.75x, and then this will be equal to, let's take out our calculator, 1.25 multiplied by 0.75. That's equal to 0.9375x. And then if you want to convert 0.9375 into a percentage, we need to say multiply by 100. It will be 93.75% of x. Let's take that out and read the question. Calculate the price of the television now as a percentage of the original price. We have got 93.75%. We've got the answer. Let's move to question 23. The diagram shows a semicircle. The diameter of this semicircle is 12 centimeters. Calculate the perimeter of the semicircle. The perimeter of a circle, which is one full circle, is equal to 2 pi r, as many of you know. And then the perimeter of a semicircle, I'm just going to write S circle here, that would be equal to 2 pi r by 2, which is equal to pi r. But that's only this curved part, because the full circle will have the other side as well. The semicircle will be dividing by 2, but only the curved part. And then you have to add this diameter, of course. So the diameter is 12 centimeters. The radius is equal to 12 by 2, which is 6 centimeters. So the perimeter is equal to 6 pi plus the diameter, which is 12. Now let's get our calculator. 6 multiplied by pi, that's 18.849 blah blah blah. Add 12, 30.849558 blah blah blah. That we can write to 2 decimal places, so 30.85 centimeters. That's the answer, 30.85. Let's move on to question 24. Here are two rectangles, 8 centimeters and 15 centimeters are the dimensions for both these rectangles. The second rectangle is cut into half and joined to the first rectangle to make a new shape. So the shape is like this. Calculate the perimeter of this new shape. To find the perimeter of this shape, we need to know the value of these two sides. They are this diagonal of this rectangle, and therefore these two are the same. How do we find it? Notice that in a rectangle that all the angles are 90 degrees, every 4. So we have right angled triangle for this half of the rectangle, and same goes for the other half. That means we can find this out using the Pythagoras theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is these two are a and b. This is c. That's the hypotenuse. So 15 squared plus 8 squared is equal to c squared. 225 plus 64 equals c squared. 289 equals c squared. C will be equal to the square root of 289, and it is actually 17. So 17 centimeters. And that's this length. And then we have the 17 centimeters length for these. Now we just write down all the other lengths. There's 15, 15, and another 15. So we have 4 15s and 2 17s. Let's start by saying the perimeter is equal to 15 into 4 plus 17 into 2. That's equal to 60 plus 34, which is equal to 94 centimeters. 94. That's the answer. Let's move on to question 25. The table shows the number of music downloads bought by 35 students during a year. Let's look at this table. Write down the modal class. The modal class is the class where the frequency is highest. In these frequencies, which is the greatest? 16. What class is that? 5 to 9. So we will write the modal class as 5 to 9. Question 26. Square and star are positive integers. Square is a factor of 15. Star is a multiple of 3. Write down the smallest possible answer to square multiplied by star. To do this, we will just see first the factors of 15. Factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. And next we'll see the multiples of 3. They are 3, 6, 9, 12, so on. So if you want to find out the smallest possible answer to this, we have to take one factor of 15 and one multiple of 3. The factor of 15 is the square, and the multiple of 3 is the star. So we have the smallest two numbers from these sets. From the first set, it is 1, and from the second set, it is 3. So to find square multiplied by star, that will be 1 multiplied by 3, which is 3. That's the smallest possible value, 3. Let's move to the 27th question. Ahmed has a rod 2 meters long. He cuts the rod into 4 pieces and uses them to make a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is 3 times the width. Calculate the area of this rectangle in square centimeters. First, we find the length of this rod in centimeters. It is 2 multiplied by 100, 200 centimeters. Then we have the sides. So we know that the length is 3 times the width. Let's take the width to be x, then the length is 3x. And then this length is 3x, this length is x. So if we add them, x plus x plus 3x plus 3x, it'll be 8x. And because they have used this rod to make the rectangle, that is equal to 2 meters, which is 200 centimeters. Therefore, x will be equal to 200 by 8, which is equal to 25 centimeters. That is the width. And then the length is equal to 25 multiplied by 3, which is 75 centimeters. So we've got this covered. Let's erase the x's and 3x's up here and replace them by numbers. 75, 75, 25, 25, all in centimeters. So we've got that covered. Now we need to find the area of this rectangle. The area is equal to 75 multiplied by 25. And for this, we can use our beloved calculator. So this will be 75 multiplied by 25, which is 1875 centimeters squared. So 1875 centimeters squared. And that's the answer. Question 28. Take the expression which is closest to the square root of 3a to the power of 6. First of all, we take this and make it 3a to the power of 6, the whole square rooted. That is the square root of 3 multiplied by the square root of a to the power of 6, which is a to the power of 3 multiplied by the square root of 3. Now let's use our calculator to find the square root of 3. 3 square rooted is 1.732 so on multiplied by a to the power of 3, which is a cube. And that is approximately equal to 1.7 multiplied by a to the power of 3, or a cubed. So 1.58 squared, no. 1.58 cubed, no. 1.78 squared, no. 1.87a cubed. That's the one. This 1.7 over here is actually the 1 decimal place value of this 1.732 so on, which is the square root of 3. Therefore, the answer is the fourth checkbox. And that's it. That's the end of this paper. So hope you liked this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope you learned something new from it. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.